We love talking about how great we all are. But it's important you hear from one of your peers, somebody who's been in your shoes, somebody who at one point in their real estate career contemplated joining RE/MAX, and someone who has successfully combined her knowledge, her experience, coupled with the power of the RE/MAX brand. Everyone, please help me welcome Sarah Craner with RE/MAX Edge in Littleton, Colorado. Well, first and foremost, Sarah, thank you very much for joining us today.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Well, let's kind of start from the beginning. Let's kind of hear about when and where you began your real estate career.
Well, I got my MBA back in 2002 after my bachelor's, and then I got into property management because the economy wasn't doing very well and nobody seemed to care that I had my MBA. And then through property management, I worked my way up. And I thought, what's next? You know, I can rent out an apartment, I should be able to sell a house. So then I worked for a well-known developer in Denver who developed the Golden Triangle and started to get a little taste of real estate. And then I got a job as an assistant to a high producer at RE/MAX Masters and kind of learned the ropes, how to do contracts and the day in the life of an agent. And then I decided at 9 months pregnant with my second child to get my license and bite the bullet. I thought if he could make money, so could I. So, yeah, and then I got my license, and then right after I got my license, I actually went and worked for Metro Brokers because, you know, everybody thinks that RE/MAX costs too much, you know, and I think that was an older way of thinking, but I went and worked for Metro Brokers, and the office was just kind of okay. You know, there wasn't a lot of team camaraderie, and there was some support. But you know, I had those 2-3 years at the RE/MAX Masters office, and I saw all these agents, like the energy, and they were always going to Del Frisco's, and I just thought I, you know, wanted to be a part of that. So an agent in our office out in Roxborough said, hey Sarah, you know, you have 4 kids now, you know, you should think about convenience. So, and I just thought, I'll go appease this guy. And I went in and I found out that the fees were not nearly as high on the home agent. And basically you have to sell one fairly low cost, you know, home, priced home a year to work for the office. And there's so much training. My broker is awesome. You know, they talked about the lead street, and those leads do come in on your cell phone, and all you have to do is text why that you want your lead. And I've had multiple leads where they come in, and 15 minutes later I'm in my car driving to go show somebody a house, and 30 days later I'm closing on a $400,000 house. So the lead street does work, and I didn't have any of those leads for 3 years at Metro Brokers. I got the leads that my broker, who was awesome, but at the time he didn't want to go out, you know, somewhere far away like Green Valley Ranch or, you know, so it's just different types of leads that you get. And plus, there's RE/MAX.com, so when your listings are on there and your face is on there, there's just regular buyers surfing through and they'll call you directly. So I've had several of those, or agents in a different state that are RE/MAX that'll go to the RE/MAX website and they'll find a Denver or Littleton real estate agent. So I've had referrals that way, and yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, what were some of your concerns about joining RE/MAX?
I think I thought that that the fees were going to be just huge each month, and you know, really they're not. And then I also thought that RE/MAX was only for maybe experienced agents, and you know, I only had 2 years of experience, and joined, and I think I'm one of the top producers for my office.
Fantastic,
so.
Fantastic. And what did you find after making the move to RE/MAX? What were some of those concerns and fears you had kind of washed away?
Yes, pretty much immediately, and you know, everybody was really nice, and I know Dave says we're not family oriented, but our office is, and everybody is very, you know, they allow me to bring all 4 of my kids in if I need help with file or contracts and they pop a movie on, and, yeah, so it's just a great environment and very professional environment where everybody wants to see everybody succeed. It's not competitive, and, you know, within each other, we all just equally want to see each other succeed.
Right. Well, it sounds like there's some great office support and sort of the culture and so forth. And it kind of sounds like you've been sort of reunited with that, because you had a little experience with that,
Yes.
working with the top prison agent that makes it a little while back.
Right.
Kind of want to come back to that.
Yes, yeah, so, yeah, I love the RE/MAX office. I knew the power of the balloon, you know, from, I don't know, I knew that my branding, when you get a listing appointment with the RE/MAX behind your name and the balloon behind your name, it gets you 50% of the way to get you the listing. And then you just have to sell yourself for the other 50%, that people automatically are just like, wow, you know, you're a RE/MAX agent, that means you must do good. So it's just this automatic thing that everybody thinks. So that's how powerful the balloon is, and that's what I kept telling my husband. I want that balloon behind my name. And he's like, just go for it. We're gonna make it, and you know, and it worked out.
Now, leap of faith.
Yes, and you know, my numbers when I was with Metro Brokers, the first year, so I've been with RE/MAX for 3 years. The first year they doubled, the second year they tripled, and then 2014 they quadrupled. And I would definitely attribute that to RE/MAX.
Yeah. And on that note, let's just kind of share a little snapshot of Sarah's 2014. Pretty good year. She averaged almost 3 transactions a month. Pretty fantastic. You know, I know we talked a little bit beforehand, and you shared with me when you joined RE/MAX and you announced it to your clients and sphere of influence, the reaction they had and so forth. Share with us a little bit about that.
Yep, so I just sent out, you know, a mass email, and I also put something out on Facebook and said, you know, I just joined RE/MAX, and I just got an amazing, you know, support of emails to me and said, hey, you know, congratulations, and, you know, we're thinking about moving. So just by switching over companies, and not that, you know, Metro Brokers I think has local recognition, but just that national recognition. And, you know, I have family members that are in New York, you know, New York and California, and they've referred people, you know, to me from other states, and yeah, it's been great.
Fantastic, fantastic. And tell me a little bit more about some of the support systems you have with RE/MAX and even your office as well.
So in our office, well, we have Kim DeGrande. She's up there with the red phone. So she's the #1 support system. Rain, snow, sleet, or hail, you can call her and she'll help you out, because every transaction is unique. And then we have all the technology, the Lead Street, there's RE/MAX University, so Kim will, you know, put up videos and we all can go in and learn from whatever's the latest and greatest, and they just constantly provide training, and they're great.
Fantastic, fantastic. So it sounds like there's some, I mean, actual deals and leads you can attribute that you've had from Lead Street or referrals and so forth, or just web presence that RE/MAX has.
Right.
Tell us a few more about those.
So the Lead Street, I would say that I have at least 3 or 4 per year that have, you know, translated into an actual closing. And then, like I said, just from RE/MAX.com, I had an agent at the beginning February of last year call me and said, hey, I see that you're on, you know, work for RE/MAX and you're in Littleton. I have a client that's planning on moving out here, transferring with their company. So I ended up helping this particular client out, and since then, their entire company has slowly been moving out. So I've been able to help with all of those, and that was just from having my name and face on the RE/MAX website.
Very good, very good.
So,
that's great. And you mentioned also some referrals within the network. You mentioned family in other states and so forth. And
right, yes, and you know, most agents, you know, will pay you 25. If you're feeling feisty, 30%. So.
Yeah, and it's great having, I mean, 97,000 plus agents worldwide, and that strong referral network
right.
in place.
Oh, yeah.
So forth. So in addition to the network, what are some of the technology tools, benefits, and resources that you use and that helped you in your business?
You know, there's the, you can do brochures off of your website. I'm trying to think what I use. It's mostly just the Lead Street and, you know, just going on to do searches through the RE/MAX.com.
Very good.
But, and I've referred other people to agents, like if I don't wanna work it down in Colorado Springs, or, you know, I'll locate somebody from the website.
Good, that's great. And, you know, in the audience here, we have folks that are contemplating joining RE/MAX. I've got the fence. What would be some words of advice or some stuff you would want to share with the audience members about that decision you had to make so many years ago?
Well, I know that driving my minivan around showing houses hasn't sold the houses, and I really would attribute that to RE/MAX. And there's a saying, there's the good and the lucky in life, and I think with RE/MAX, if you join, you get a little bit of both. So the sooner you join, the sooner your financials, your personal life, everything's gonna get better. Do it today.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Sarah.
You're welcome.
Really appreciate it. With that said, I'm going to invite Jack Kreider